Hey everybody, Dirty Mike here. Welcome to the first episode of Down and Dirty. Now, due to some technical issues that we had the day of the show, we had to cut out about the first 10 minutes of filming, but we're going to be jumping right into the interview with Smokey J Show. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. All right, man, let's dive into a few of these questions that people gave to us. The very first one, all right, is initially what made you start streaming? Like what was it that made you decide that you were going to start, hit live, play video games, chat, whatever? Was your thought process behind starting streaming?
So throughout my whole, I've been gaming since I remember. I remember International Superstar Soccer, the first ever football game I probably played on the Super Nintendo or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So from them days, I always had the passion for gaming, and then it got to the Xbox 360 days, and I had capture cards and all that stuff. I'd done like clips and montages or whatever back in the days, but I never went any further with it because I was a kid. So then when it come around to lockdown, I was watching a Warzone streamer on Facebook, and he was only a little streamer. All of a sudden, a couple of months later, he absolutely erupted. He exploded. He ended up quitting his job, full-time streamer. He's still a full-time streamer now. I was in his community from when he had about 20 people. He probably gets about 1,000 now,
Man.
average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I was building a PC and all that sort of stuff. I was gaming. I thought, let's give it a go. So I used to stream my Warzone tournaments. Me and Snipes used to enter a couple of Warzone tournaments. So we used to stream that. And all of a sudden, I had a few months off. I thought, you know what? Let's have a look around and see what streaming is actually all about. So I networked for about 3 or 4 months, and I started streaming in July. And since then, it's just been absolutely incredible.
And that kind of leads me into the next question that we had was that like you've not been streaming for very long, to be honest with you. You're still
No.
you're still under a year, and in that short amount of time, you've gone from just picking up and hitting go live. I've seen some of your early clips. I mean, it was right off the console, baby. You know what I mean? It looked like sitting on the couch, hanging out, just doing your
I was in
thing
my living room. I
in
was
your
in my
in
living
your
room,
living room.
sitting on a sofa, streaming from an Xbox with a USB mic. I mean, not a mic, a webcam.
Yeah, yep.
Now I'm in an office. I'm in my games room. You know what I mean? So I've
And
come far.
and then you've gone from there, and then somewhere within these short period of time, you were a part of a different organization as well.
Yes, correct.
And then again, as all of this has been pretty short, you've already obviously had to make the decision to leave that and start your own organization. So like that's a really fast process. You know what I mean? Like you hear about other people and it might have taken them years to develop something like that. And so like walk us through that. I mean, what's it like having that happen so quickly?
So with organisations and stuff, as I was saying, I used to play. Well, I didn't say when I grew up, I was playing Gears of War quite competitively. Gears of War 2. We had a great team in them days. So as organisations, it was a different sort of organisation because that was an actual team organisation, whereas we are actually just 5 or 6 members going for the prizes. So I always had that sort of in me, the leadership role of having something, being able to build a team. So when I left that organisation, I was hungry there. When I joined there, I had so many ideas, so many things for them to change and push forward and make it more professional. They were happy with it. I got promotions. I ended up being a recruitment manager, a social media team, everything. Like they all wanted my advice, and that's where I met Stalling Rug. Stalling Rug was the general manager there, and me and Rug were we was on the same path. We was on the
Mm-hmm.
same mindset, everything. And God bless him, he didn't get the support over there, and so I left under some circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and me and Nudges spoke about it. It must have been just as I started streaming, maybe a month after. He was having some issues at work. He didn't want to work anymore or whatever. He wanted to build something. He said
Mm-hmm.
we could build something. So we discussed it for a little while, and then the next day he got a pay rise at work. So he was very happy at work that day, wasn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are the best days at work, right? Those are the days that keep you going.
So he was like, "Yeah, Smokes, scrap that, we're done with that." So then, yeah, that was it. I sort of spoke to a few people. I spoke to Snipes, I spoke to Nudges, I spoke to Deadshot, and we sort of, it was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen, make it work.
Mhm.
And I got a message from Doobie.
Mhm.
He said, "Smokes, like, look, I trust you. I love you as a brother. I want to do something. I want to build something." He said, "I think I can do it with you." So I was like, "Doobs, saying that," I said, "We've been having this conversation for the last couple of weeks with the boys." I said, "If you want to jump onto something special, let's do it." And that's when Doobie came along.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's just been ever growing and absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Up to 42 members. It's 42 of us all together now, I believe, was the count this morning, right?
Yes, sir.
That is wild, and I mean, I think it shows you too with the success of the organization. We closed down applications in mid-December through the holidays and everything. It kind of gave everybody a break, and
We needed it. We needed it.
yeah, everybody needed that time to breathe a little bit, and then look what happened when we opened those applications back up. It was like opening the floodgates.
Mate, the first day we had about 15. I had to change the application because we had too many on the one form. So I had to make another form, and then that got filled up, and then I had to make a Google Doc, so we can have constant backlog of them.
Yeah.
Because the other thing we were using were only 10 forms at once, and I couldn't be asked to keep doing that every day.
Yeah,
you don't know when it's when it's filled up or whatever, and you might miss out on people who have applied and can't apply.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean, that's great news. That really shows you the spread that Finest Nation's already having. People want to be a part, and I think a lot of it has to do with like what you already said. You've belonged to other things before that just had a little bit different of a mindset, a little bit different of approach than what we have. This is
I wanted something I could call my own.
Yeah.
Dictate where it's going. The journey it's going to run, and not just focus on one set thing.
Yep.
Like what you're saying about the success of the organization, we done a charity stream, and you know how that went. We had a charity stream train chat.
Yep.
If you're new around here, we raised over $2,000 for a children's hospital to give them presents for Christmas.
And that was only a matter of a couple of months after we opened. I
think that we opened up the org at the beginning of September. It was talking about before September. We was building things around in the back end, making a few signings behind the scenes. And I think it was literally first week of September we announced that we're an organization, and that's when everything started kickstarting.
So you did mention that you reached out to Nudges, Deadshot, Snipes, Doobie and you obviously talking. So how did all of you guys meet? Because a lot of you knew each other before, not just through gaming.
So I've known SirNudges probably since I was about knee high.
Okay.
He's like one of my brother's friends.
He's like your grandpa or something, isn't he?
He's Granddad Nudges.
Yeah.
Papa Nudges,
Right, Papa Nudges.
So I've known Nudges for absolute years, and we go on a Christmas do every year together. We've been away together like to Margate and stuff on a Jolly Boys outing. And growing up, I've always known Nudges. That's all it is. I've always known SirNudges. With Snipes, I used to go to school with Snipes' girlfriend. I used to hang around with Snipes' girlfriend growing up, and that's where I met Snipes. So Snipes has been my friend for probably about 15 years now, maybe 14 years. Deadshot, I met Deadshot when I started networking and streaming.
And do you regret that day?
And I definitely regret that.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. If he could just figure out how to get rid of that. I know, right? Yeah, you're contracted together now. It's done.
I'm contracted now, literally. I'm screwed. Right. Well, I have to get like a prenup and everything soon with him. I'm telling you.
Right.
But no, with Deadshot is literally from day one. We got on like a house on fire. We had the same sort of mentality when it came to streaming. Deadshot ain't a streamer himself, but the attitude of a streamer. And Deadshot was like, "Look, you've got it." He's like, "I'm with you." So from then, I had Deadshot as my right-hand man. Deadshot was my mod, and he's been my mod since day one.
And he's an amazing networker. As much shit talk as I do with Deadshot, I absolutely love the man. And his networking and how many people he knows and is about and helps out is absolutely amazing.
Amazing. Listen, Deadshot's a good guy. And
oh yeah.
When I wanted to do this, he was the first person I really wanted. Like other than snipes and nudges, Deadshot was the person I wanted, because for what you've done for me in the beginning of my streaming journey, I'm taking you all the way. Wherever I'm going, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And he's here now still,
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and Deadshot can have disagreements just like me and all the other founders.
Well,
but it's where we want New York to go,
Mm-hmm.
and we always support everyone's opinions. But it's about what's the best interest of the York, and that's what we always decide on.
You experience growth through conversations and having different personalities in there. If everybody's just a yes man, you're going to get really complacent. You're going to get really happy with just where it's at, and
Well,
you're not gonna
everything's
grow.
then just a dictatorship, and what I say goes. There's no point of having news.
Yeah.
What's the point of having news? Like
Yep.
I say it all the time to everybody. If I'm not around, SirNudges.
Yep.
Whatever he says goes, or if he's not around, whatever your gamer or whatever says goes.
Yeah.
Because I know that you guys have got the best interest of the org at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Making decisions. I trust you all making the decision. Doesn't bother me.
So,
You wouldn't be where you are if I didn't trust you.
right. Except for Deadshot.
Well,
yeah, he's questionable. So that, by the way, that question was actually from Huey. He was wanting to know how you knew each of the founders.
Yep.
And then we also have a question from Acro, and this is gonna be a little bit less about org and a little bit about your personal style. Acro wants to know if you had to stream one game for the rest of your career, and not just play one game, but stream one game for the rest of your career, what would that game be? And I want to know why.
So that's a tough one, because to be put in that position, if I was to be put in that position, and it might be easier, but like to have that choice, there's so many good games out there. But to stream one constantly over and over again, to know that game's never going to die out, to know that game's always going to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Where I am now, I'm a Tarkov streamer. I love it. So it'd be Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love everything about the game. Everything about it.
I think if does just chatting count as a category, because you could do a lot with that. I'll just have to invest in a hot tub. So I guess the only way I could stick to one thing, because I can't even stick to one thing in a single stream. So I don't know how I can stick to a single thing for the rest of my career. That'd be a wild one.
It'd be tough, because listen, you can get burned out on games. You can. Tarkov's tough some nights. Some nights you'll be sitting there and you're earning a couple of million a night, and then the next days you're losing it all.
Yeah,
and then you got no guns, no stash left, and you're like, well, we're back to square one.
So you've seen a lot of success recently with Tarkov. I think obviously it's a newer game for you. You haven't been playing it that long. I mean, if you compare it to something like Call of Duty that you've been playing for years and years and years, you just recently got into Tarkov, and you're experiencing what it's like with this developer. What would you have to say about this developer and how they handle their games and their content output? And because that was a reason that you kind of chose that game, was the content output of it.
He cares, and you can't say nothing more about it, really. He cares about the community. He cares about the game.
Right.
I think I had a conversation with you before about like money in games and Tarkov coins or something like that. Yeah. And you said it never happened, because he'd never want to charge the community like that, like what FIFA do and Call of Duty do to earn extra money for no point. Yep. He'd rather put the things in the game, you earn it, you go get it. And if anything's wrong with the game, he works his ass off to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
They've been having plenty of issues lately, and they're doing all they can. As a small company, chat, it's only in the beta stage, and look how fantastic the game is. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a year or two's time.
And every progress. Every new release, every map, everything that's been released, if you own the game, you get it.
Yep.
It's like, you go through a patch, you go through wipes, and then all of a sudden there's new stuff. Congratulations. Go play more new content,
And you haven't got to pay £20 for a DLC to get it, have you?
No. The only
what I mean? It's there. You just download it.
The only thing they hook you with is, you always buy that base game first, and then within a week, you're already buying the upgrade to the Edge of Darkness edition, so that's the only where it gets you, but that's a good thing, right? Because that just, I've got to have more. I've got to have more.
Because the stash they give you on the little cheap copy
it's embarrassing, isn't it?
It's embarrassing, especially when your mate's got four pages full. You think, I've got to have a bit of that. Yeah. How am I meant to make money with no like space like that?
Yep. So
Jinx wants to know how I met Doobie. I didn't
yep,
tell
nope.
her.
I also an office assistant over here that just passed along that note as well. So so yes, go. So yeah, I did not mean to skip over Doobie there, obviously, but the Doobie we left Doobie. How do you know Doobie?
Networking, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you how I got into stream.
Mm-hmm.
I must have joined through a raid or something like that.
Okay.
And the second I was there, it was like home.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be. And Doobie inspired me a lot to be the streamer I am today. Like with the stream decks and stuff like that. Him
Mm-hmm.
and another friend, Penguin Steve, they
Oh yeah.
inspired me to get a stream deck.
Okay.
They said, look, get it, it's a game changer. It'll
Yeah.
make your stream so much better. It'll bring more excitement to the stream. It's a device that's so amazing that you don't
Yeah.
have to do nothing. You
Right.
just press a button and it does everything.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I met him just through the man cave.
Okay.
Popped in every day. I knew his schedule. I was there every stream.
I hear that. I remember those days, man.
And that's where I met you.
Yep.
And Gamer, I believe I met there. I believe I
Yep.
met quite a few of the people in the stream in the chat right now there.
Yeah.
Kiddo being one of them. And it was just the family presence. It just felt family.
Yeah.
This is genuine guy.
Yes.
This guy, he don't beat around the bush.
This is a guy you want to sit down and have a beer with, man.
Yeah,
like when it's time to fire up a night in the man cave, you go grab a Bud Light and you're sitting there drinking with the family.
You grab that Modelo, baby.
You grab that Modelo and you have a drink with the man. I had the honor of doing several co-streams with Doobie. We were running Sea and Thieves streams quite a bit together. We ran some Dead by Daylight. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I met so many people through Doobie. I don't think without Doobie and again his inspiration, I could never match Doobie's energy, man. I'm like a laid back chill guy, and his energy level is just absolutely through. There was no
it's because he's nice and young, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
24 Doobie.
I think so.
25?
Mid 20s. But yeah, man, like it's just such a phenomenal feeling being part of being in the man cave and hanging out and meeting all of you that I've met through that. Without Doobie, there's no chance that I would be here doing this interview, doing this show with everybody here today. So obviously he's had.
I don't think I would have met you in anybody else's stream.
No, absolutely not. I think that was kind of the crossing point for us. And same thing like you said, I met Gamer through Doobie. I met just so many people. So yeah, man. All right. So we're talking a lot about gaming. What other hobbies do you have besides gaming, though?
So before lockdown, I used to go over the Arsenal every week.
Okay.
I used to run a pub literally right next to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So all the fans that used to come in, they'd have spare tickets every single week, and they'd be like, Johnny, do you want to go to the game? And I'd be like, yeah, sweet. So I'd run down the game every weekend. Horse racing. I love watching some horse racing.
Okay.
I love betting on horse racing. Dog racing too.
Okay.
But I'm a dad of 4. So I don't really get time to have hobbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and
so my hobbies right now is gaming.
I was gonna say, especially with what you got with what you're growing right now around you, that takes up a lot of your personal time as well, obviously. So,
Definitely.
So what kind of an impact would you say it's had, on you have hobbies, but you can't really participate in them. You know what I mean? So like, how does that impact affect you? Do you kind of miss some of those things? Do you regret anything about it? And I know you don't regret anything, but do you just wish you had a little bit more time in the day sometimes to do the other things?
100%.
Yeah.
So with COVID, my area of work closed down. It had to be closed because hospitality and stuff, you couldn't do it. Whereas my partner, she could still work. She's a head teacher at a school. So we decided, all right, I'll stay at home with the girls. You go to work. You earn whatever you earn, and it's cheaper if I stay at home instead of paying for childcare, this, that, and the other. So during the day, I've got the girls, from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, I've got the girls. And then I get my streaming hours. So I stream from 8 till 1, whatever, I push the boat out a little bit. I shouldn't stream as long as I do, but listen, it's the only time I get to myself.
And it's kind of addicting too, isn't it? Because you start streaming a little bit longer, you start seeing, we all have the conversation. Don't look at the numbers, and maybe you turn your viewer counts off. But then at the end of the night, after you hit that end stream and that email comes in, what do?
I don't look at my email.
You
To
know,
be honest with you, I
oh man,
don't.
I look at my email every single night. I look at that stream
Nope.
summary, man. I always take a look. It's a
At the
it's
beginning,
addicting.
I did, and
Hmm.
then that was when I was averaging about 8 to 10 viewers a stream. I used to look
Hmm.
every day,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, I went from 8 to 10 viewers to 18 to 25,
Hmm.
and I thought, this is it's gonna stop, and it happened for a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then one day it might not happen, and I was like, oh, and you're watching that number going down. You're watching that number sitting on 11, 12, 13, and you're not appreciating your viewers.
Yeah.
You know, it gets Twitch gets into your brain that it's about numbers.
Yep.
It's about a community. It's not about viewers. It's about a community.
Hmm.
If you haven't got the community, it's no point. You
And
know,
it,
it's pointless.
I think you kind of nailed it there. Is that Twitch kind of does it to you?
Yeah.
Listen, Twitch, don't shut us down in the middle of a stream right here, but we got to address this. Like, you've got your path for affiliate, you've got your path for partner, and what are those paths all about? Numbers.
Numbers.
They
It's not
tell
about you as a person.
exactly.
It's not about nothing.
Yep.
Obviously, you're gonna build a community around you, or they're gonna like you as a person, but
Right.
they don't exactly help you about it, do they?
No, not at all.
The affiliate thing is ridiculous. For a brand new streamer to be getting affiliate, they could be streaming every day for a week
Mhm.
and not see one person come in their stream.
I've
They've
been
streamed
there,
5 hours a day for a week. That's 35 hours with 0 viewers.
Hmm.
How are they then meant to get that back up?
Yep.
35 hours with 0 viewers, you've destroyed it. You might as well give up and start again.
You almost literally have to not stream for 30 days and just
Yes.
do all networking and then fire up a stream again and try to bring that, because those 35 hours will absolutely destroy you. No,
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
agree. I agree.
And I say it to a lot of people who are trying to get affiliate. And with streaming, it's a bug.
Hmm.
Like you say, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
You want more and more and more. When you have that great stream, you're like, I don't even want to end the stream.
Yep.
But then you can't wait until the next stream to hit that live button and go again.
Yep.
But as an affiliate, you can't, because when you're affiliate, you have to care about that number.
Hmm.
That streaming hours needs to be as low as possible.
Yeah.
Because the average is not going to go up if the streaming hours are going up. If
Yep.
you're streaming for another 5 hours with 2 people, it's pointless.
And so many
Right.
people get in the mindset like, I just need to stream every spare hour that I have. I need to be streaming. And man, like we were just saying, that absolutely destroys you if you're paying attention to the numbers, trying to get on one of those paths, and your numbers just don't rise. You've streamed for 35 hours, and then you do a 2-hour stream where you had a 10 average viewer, and it brings you up to nothing. Yeah,
you got a 0.5.
If you're lucky, 0.5. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is gonna take a long time. And so yeah, I got caught in that trap for a long time. I didn't know how to grow. Like you and I've had the conversation of I didn't understand networking. Man, I had the mentality when I clicked the go live button, eventually people are just going to start showing up.
I did.
That's
I did.
not. Yeah.
So when I started Call of Duty, I didn't think about, it's the most saturated game on Twitch. There's
Yeah.
probably 1 million people here with 0 viewers.
Yeah.
No one's going to see you. No
Yep.
one's going to find you. You need to build that community.
And you've got the
And-
big names that
Yes.
everybody flocks to. You know what I mean? So yeah, finding
Oh,
your
listen,
niche.
They'd rather watch a big name than a small streamer. They know they're
Absolutely.
going to get
Any day of the
content from
week.
that big name.
Yep,
You know
yep.
what I mean? So
Absolutely.
you can't compete with that. You can't compete with the
No.
likes of like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tapman Aidens, and
Yep.
you can't compete with the viewership. You really can't.
Exactly. So we touched a little bit too on whenever we talked about hobbies, you said that you used to run a pub.
Yep.
So past careers, what all careers have you had in your past?
So with me, I like to do something for 2 years minimum, and then try something new.
Okay.
So I've done carpentry, I've done electronics, I've done plumbing, I've done bricklaying, I've laid carpets, I've run pubs, I've worked in a football stadium, I've worked for Thames Water. I've done so much stuff, and I usually try it for 2 years. And if I don't like it, I'll go somewhere else and try something new. I don't mind starting
Okay.
at the bottom and
Yeah.
working my way to the top.
And through your careers, what skills have you learned to help you out with what you're doing right now?
People skills.
Okay.
To be able to talk to people, like running a pub, you need to be able to talk to people.
Right.
You need to be able to talk to any person. Everybody's different in life.
Mhm.
And the second them people walk through the door, you need to know who they are, what they're about, and what they're going to order.
Right. Right.
What you're going to have the conversation about. Because if you're pouring their drink and you're sitting still, you're not going nowhere.
Yep.
As a barman or a bar manager or someone who runs a pub, if you haven't got the talk, you're not going nowhere.
Okay.
And with streaming, you need to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
If you can't, no one's going to want to watch you. You know,
How
We're
many?
not here watching a painting, you know, like we ain't watching paint dry.
I think you and I every once in a while have a similar because whenever we raid out, but and that's the thing at the end of every stream. I don't care if it's just you. I don't care if you have one person or 100 people you raid out. You know what I mean? It's
You
you
got to
go
rate out.
you go. So I have the habit. I try to obviously raid in the family with amongst the FN family, but then every once in a while it's nice to go find a new person. And
Yeah.
so that kind of brings me what you were just talking about. They just sitting there, they're not interacting. How many people have you clicked on and be like, let's see how this guy is? And he's literally just sitting back in his chair, not looking at chat, not interacting. There's just nothing there. You know what I mean?
So I've raided probably 2 or 3 people who didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize there was a raid there for about 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, how do I undo this? How do we go again? Like, how do we
Right.
go somewhere else? Because you feel like you've taken a piss out of your community a little bit. You know, you're trusting this person with your community, and we've gone over there. It's like,
Yeah.
Smokes, you've sent us here.
Right.
The judgment is then, well, hold on a minute, who's this guy?
Right.
And I raided someone on Thursday night. He didn't really want a conversation, did he?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? He didn't want to talk. He was a big streamer. He chucked me a follow. I love that.
Yeah.
He didn't want to have a conversation.
Yep. And that's another thing is we talk about followers. Going back to again, people focusing on. Obviously it's good to have goals. It's good to celebrate milestones. You hit 250, you hit 500, you hit 1,000 followers. It's always great to have those celebrations. But as you're growing, followers doesn't translate over to viewers, does it?
No.
No. I think I'm pushing like 360, average maybe 6 a night. Which is good in my opinion. I'm very happy with that. But then you see some people that might have like 2,000 followers and they're averaging 3 a night or a 0. You know what I mean? It's like it gets into that whole mentality of the follow for follow mentality of people thinking that networking equals I'm going to go follow this person, tell them to follow me, and then I'm going to grow.
It's never going to happen.
No, absolutely not. No.
A lot of people do get stuck into that because, I don't know if it's like computer games doing it to you. Do you know, like when you're playing like your GTAs or something, you're getting money, like Tarkov, you're getting money. You want to save that money, don't you? You don't want to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they look at it and they want to get it to the highest they can.
Mm-hmm.
So they look at it like it's a game, like they're going to earn money from the amount of followers they get.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll sit there in streams and be like, oh, follow me and I'll follow you.
Yeah.
That doesn't get you viewers.
No.
This year I've probably gained, in the 3 weeks or the 2 weeks I've had my account this year, I've gained 40 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I've gained 1 member in my community in 40 followers. I'll
Yep.
take that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
every 40 followers, if I gain 1 person in my community who's going to be there every stream, I'll
Yep.
take it all day
Because
long.
that word right there, community, means so much more than anything else that you're building. Because your community are the people who support you. And when I say support, it's not just showing up. It's it's the retweets, it's the likes, it's if you can't make it for a night, I know that doesn't mean that you don't support me. You support me in every which way that you possibly can. You've that, and that goes for anybody. I'm talking to you specifically right now, but like the people within your community that you get to know that even 24 hours later hit that like or hit that retweet button just to put your name and your Twitch channel out there. That's all support. And those are the real members of your community, is the people that support you, not just the people who hit the follow button and you never see again. That's not your community.
But you got to think like you said about tweets, when you put a tweet out, the way the algorithm works is we know it's garbage.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
If 5 or 10 people see that tweet and they like it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't see it until tomorrow and I like it, with those 10 people that liked it first, it broadens it to another 7,000 people, say.
Yeah.
And if I like it tomorrow, it goes to another 1,000 people. And if a couple of people, it doesn't matter when you like a tweet.
Mm-hmm.
People get seen.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if whatever it is, just like the tweets, like everyone's tweets. Like, it's just a like.
Yeah.
If it helps them grow, it helps them grow. This is what we're all here for. We're all here for the same reason.
Yep. Trying to make a community,
Yeah.
So.
And that's what it's all about. It's about getting seen. And,
Yep. I have to open this up to the scary part of your interview if you're ready for this. Is we got to get this pulled up and we've got to get to the questions and answers.
all right.
So let's see. Anybody in chat right now? if you want to get a question in here, let's do a hashtag Ask Smokey and then give me your question. All right, let's see what you got. I'm curious to know what else. Now that we've kind of had our flow go, now that we've been having a good conversation, everybody I think is maybe starting to understand a little bit. Okay, like this is down and dirty right here. And I forgot to say the tagline. Hey, everybody, let's get down and dirty with Smokey J Show. Better late than never. All right. So, this is the kind of stuff that I want to see, moving forward, going into the section for, our topics. I want y'all to give us your questions. I want to see what you have, because we're going to be announcing here after this interview, and as we wrap the show up, we'll announce who is going to be our guest in 2 weeks, and I want to know what kind of questions you're going to have for this person too. So, anybody, hashtag Ask Smokey. What do you got? Somebody got a question for us? Or are we just going to sit here in an awkward silence and still talk to each other?
Awkward silence, chat.
We are, There we go. Mystical Jinx.
Sign new members before the year is formed. Why did you pick them?
That's actually a good question.
So, obviously, someone like yourself, Jinx, I spoke to you before the org was formed, because I know that you can give us something that we haven't got, and that's your Warzone. When Verdansk was here, it'd have been a different story. Now Caldera or whatever it is, you don't want to play that, but we can still get content through you through Rebirth or whatever. But I know you can bring something. You're competitive, you're hungry, you're young. So that was, you ticked all the boxes. We signed Doug for content because of what he can do with the sniper. That's going to be something we're going to focus on for YouTube eventually. It's all plans. Every person who joins us, we've got a plan for you. And we see something in you, and we will use that eventually. We've only got 5 pairs of hands. We can only do what we can do. But we do our best.
Next question here. What's been the hardest part about streaming?
The hardest part?
This is from Brantree, by the way.
It's starting up. Sitting in an empty chat room. Streaming to nobody. When I was starting out, you'd be on Facebook and Twitch groups and all this, and you'd see people asking questions and this, that, and the other. But then you'd see the trolls. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're boring. I came into your stream and you didn't say a word to anyone. Like, I watched your last stream and you wasn't talking." How is a new streamer meant to talk if nobody's there?
Learning to talk to yourself, right?
Yeah, so you got to pretend you're crazy. Chat.
Yeah.
But first sign of madness is talking to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what we've all got to learn to do. And I think that's the hardest part.
Next question from JB Sin. Would you wear a Tottenham shirt every day for a month if you got free beer and burgers for a year?
No.
Okay, background. What the hell is that? Okay, there's some of us who don't know what the hell Tottenham is.
Tottenham is Arsenal's rivals, our worst rivals. Yeah?
Okay.
Proper enemies. We don't like them people.
Gotcha. Okay, so the answer is just absolutely downright no. No explanation needed. Just absolutely fucking no.
You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to wear a Tottenham shirt.
Snipes wants to know about the Wild Nights of Meatloafs.
We was young once, Snipes. It was fun.
Kiddo Christo
we won't discuss that on stream on a show.
Kiddo Christo.
Let's say we'd be there for weekends.
Wants to say, Smokey, why you coach him but not me?
Why you coach him?
Is that a Dr. Disrespect thing? I think that's a Dr. Disrespect thing. I think it is. Okay, Dougie D wants to know what the future plan on a comp team for FN is.
We have been talking about it. Before the organization formed, I looked into it, and it's not something we can afford. Not right now. We could focus on smaller competitions, free competitions. We'll pay for competitions for you to go in. But for the big boy competitions, there's no way we could get there yet. We're a non-profit organization. We don't have the means to be able to achieve that just yet. If we could get a sponsor, we'd look into it. But we can't afford that right now.
Explicit Cupcake has a good question as well. Ups and downs of streaming. How's it affected your mental and physical health, and how do you deal with it?
It's numbers. So as I say, I don't look at my numbers anymore because, like I said, when I went from 8 to 10 to 15 to 20 or whatever, when I had one bad stream, you see it. you're looking at the number and it's going from 18 down to 13 or 13 to 8, and then you're like, you know, it starts bothering you because Twitch implements it in your brain that it's all about numbers. But what gamer? I live by what gamer says. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Are you having fun with the game you're playing? Yes, okay. If there's 6 people, 7 people, 3 people, imagine you sitting in your bedroom with those people behind you. You know, like right now we've got 42 people in here. Imagine us being in an actual showroom with you 42 people in the audience. It's insane.
Yep.
Insane.
Gamer's taught me so much
Absolutely
about
insane.
streaming. Honestly, he's Gamer is an absolute legend amongst us. You know, just such a fantastic person, and just having private conversations with him as well. Just like, man, it doesn't matter. You know, when you first click that go live button, what were your goals? To just go live and have fun, or was it to get a million followers?
To get a million followers.
Get a million
It
followers.
was. It was. When I
Okay.
first started, it was, oh yeah, I'm going to be seen and I'm going to be a millionaire by next week.
See,
You know, I'm going to be buying fucking FN headquarters in Vegas. You know what I mean?
see, mine was a little different because whenever I very first started, I traveled a lot for work.
Yep.
And traveling as much as I did, you lose track and you lose friendships along the way. You just can't stay in touch with absolutely everybody that you've lived around, you know. So one of the big common things that we always had was gaming, and so I was like, man, maybe if I start streaming, this will be a way for me to kind of stay in touch with all the people that I've lost touch with over time. So my initial mentality wasn't about getting big. It never was. It was just about trying to stay in touch with people. And I can tell you, it's funny that out of the groups of people that I was trying to stay in touch with, maybe 2 or 3 of them I still stay in touch with right now. And now it's almost like traveling for work again. So many of my friends live all the way over in the UK. You know what I mean? It's like a completely different crowd that I'm around now.
But that's the beauty about streaming. You know, like you say, I'm in the UK. You're in America.
Mm-hmm.
You are my brother. As simple
Yeah.
as that. It doesn't matter.
100%.
You know, like,
Yep.
we've got people in the organization from Wales. We've got them from Scotland. We've got them from Canada. We've got them from all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all brothers and sisters.
Yep.
And that is the art and the beauty of streaming and, you know, networking. You're never alone. Not when you're in FN.
Absolutely.
No. Never alone when you're in FN. Because all the DMs are open.
Vampire asks, what do you say is a big thing that you look for finding new family members?
A big thing is about you being a family member. If you don't have the family values, you're never going to make it. You know, like if you've got kids, that's a massive thing. You know, I know it could be, you know, bad because of time and all that stuff, but you know what it's like to be a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's like to have something to, you know, fucking fight for.
Right.
So, you know, you'll be right here. If you're a family man, you'll be right here. Because this is what we're here for. We're here for you to be able to inbox Mike, Nudges, whoever, with a problem. It doesn't matter. We're all here. We're all family. You know, just like if you go to your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, you know, for advice, that's what we're here for. You know, we're all here to help each other out, no matter what. No matter what.
Tiger asked, I mean, you already kind of touched on this. We said whose idea was it making the FN organization? And the initial idea was just you and Nudges. Is that correct?
So Nudges come up with something different to what it was. He wanted to focus on like YouTube. He wanted to focus on game reviews, walkthroughs, all of this sort of stuff. So a bit different to an organization, but it would have been sort of the same because we'd have a family vibe to it and we'd have more people in. But with the organization, it was, like I say, I used to play Gears of War back in the day, and, you know, being in one and not having the support I wanted and, you know, feeling appreciated. I didn't feel appreciated. You know, when one little thing happened, I opened my mouth about one little thing and I got shown the door. So I said, okay, I'll build something bigger and better. And I have.
And Mr. Corey asked, do you have any regrets about streaming?
No.
No?
No.
I like
Not
that.
at all.
That's to me, anything negative that happened is a learning experience, to be honest. You know, there's been I'll say, I'm not going to mention any names. There's been communities that I started to get involved with that I had my eyes open to, and were not communities that I should have been getting involved with in the first place. But at the same time, it really, and I have to say, I think this is around the time you and I started getting really close. Was that, you know, whenever you showed me your true colors during that period of time, and we had a lot of private conversations about why to be careful, what the signs are, what's going on here. And then I was like, man, like this dude right here is actually looking out for me. This other dude that I'm involved with wants to know what he can get out of me.
Definitely.
and from then on, man, it was nonstop. You know what I mean? It was
That was it,
right.
you
That
know.
was it.
And
Yeah.
FN happened, and I messaged you, and I said I want you.
Yeah.
What did you say? Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut the fuck
like,
up.
what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and I was like, I want you, because you know what the values are, Mike. You wear them on your sleeve. It's we don't as an organization, we don't ask for a lot. I know there's demands. I know people can think that it can be a bit tricky and a bit tough to live up to what an organization wants, but it's not hard. If you're streaming, you're ticking all the boxes already.
Hmm.
All we're asking you to do is the little side bits to the streaming.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of an organization, you need to be active in Discord.
Yeah, yep. This you got your
If you're
Discord,
not,
you got your Twitter, you've got again like we were talking about the supporting your other members. If you want that support, then you're got to support, and that's how we grow. We bring each other's communities together.
yes,
That's whenever you support, when you retweet, whenever you are active in a Discord, you're showing all of the people that you're already involved with that this is something that I'm a part of. I want you to be a part of it as well, so that you
yeah,
can grow and we all grow together.
we have to grow together. Listen, if you join an organization and you don't want to put the time and effort into getting to know all the members,
Hmm.
getting around to their streams, you want to know people. You want to know, like, have memories with these people. If I ask you, oh yeah, what's his name, or and you don't know nothing, or you don't know what they stream, you don't belong here.
Yep.
Because if you haven't catched his stream or her stream, or like, listen, we know people have lives and we know people are busy, and with 42 members, we know you can't support every single one of them on a daily. There's
Yep.
not enough hours in the day. But if you're not making an effort chatting to people every day, you're not gonna make it.
I
You know,
agree.
we keep an eye on that sort of stuff. Who talks, who doesn't. Discord tells us everything. Anything we need to know, Discord tells us the stats. So if you're not talking, start talking, baby.
I think we got time for one more question. Let me ask my boss if it's okay if the show runs over just a little bit. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
go on.
All right.
You
So we're gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna wrap up the interview here. So Mystical Jinx wants to know, maybe two more questions. Mystical Jinx wants to know advice for young streamers. He says, "I know you've given me some. However, any youngsters in here, any advice on streaming, any tips to improve?"
As a young person, it can be tough because you've been brought into a world of madness. It's not the same as when we were kids. Um, you got to be yourself. You got to be respectful. You got to be watch what you're saying on stream because young kids can say stupid things.
Hmm.
Jinx, you was playing with someone the other week, and you had to get him out of your stream because of the way he was. Your audience are there for you, and I understand if you're having a collaboration, your audience needs to be known and aware that that's going to be happening because your chat are there for you. They're not there for nobody else. They're not here to listen to a 14-year-old kid screaming and moaning about this, that, and the other. You know, you need to be consistent. If you're going to stream, schedules are very important. So your community know when you're going to be live. So as I said at the beginning, I was at Doobie streams every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Modelo Monday. We had I can't remember what Wednesdays were, but Wednesdays were there. And Fridays, we had Fridays. I used to raid Doobie every Monday. When my stream finished, I was in Doobie stream. Wednesday I was there. Friday I was there. And people need to know the routine. If you're a spontaneous streamer, you ain't gonna be able to build a community. It's just viewership and not a community. You're only caring about viewership when you're streaming anytime you want because you don't care about a community. Not that you don't care. Maybe it might be the only times you can do it. Your job or your family or whatever might not be able to give you it, but interact with your community. Let them know what's going on. If you know tomorrow morning or tomorrow night you're going to be streaming, let them know tonight. Post it in your
Absolutely.
Discord, post it on your Twitter, because not everyone will have notifications on, especially if you're following 300 to 400 different
Yep.
streamers. I don't want them notifications going off 24 hours a day.
Yep.
So
It,
to know that my friend Dirty Mike will stream at 1:30 my time on his days, I know. To know that people stream on them times and them days, I'm going to be there because I know about schedule. It's
yep.
hard. Listen, it's hard. It's not
It's
easy.
very hard. Sticking to a schedule is a difficult thing because life happens. And so it is very difficult. And that's something that I struggled with for a long time and it finally got established. But you're 100% right with how much a schedule matters to building your community.
Definitely.
Because again, we're going to circle back to that word community. The people that repeatedly show up whenever they know what your schedule is, that's your community because they're showing up and hanging out. And, whenever you got one or two people in there with that you're vibing with and you're chatting with, and all of a sudden we addressed, how hard it is to stream to zero viewers. All of a sudden, you
Oh,
got
it's extremely hard.
one or two people. You treat them like they're 100 people. All right, they're your game will always be there. Those
Especially if you're
people
playing
might
an
not be.
FPS game. If
Yes.
you're playing an FPS game, you ain't gonna have a chance to even talk because you're too focused on what's happening on the game.
Hmm.
If you're playing an MMO game or a storyline game, you can chat to nobody because you can tell them the storyline. You can
Yep.
tell them what's happening in the story, why you're doing it, why you're doing this. You ain't gonna tell everyone your every move while you're pushing a 2-man in a building down the road.
Hmm.
You're not gonna tell them why I jumped on this building or this window and through that door. You're not gonna do it because you're not gonna have the time to. Your thought process is I need to kill these people. Whereas in a storyline game, you can do it to a chat with nobody.
You've obviously
It's
never
tough.
watched me play Tarkov, but that's okay. I'll forgive you.
No, but Tarkov's different.
Tarkov is different because
You're
it's so because you have to strategize.
yeah.
And so it's actually easier in Tarkov in comparison to other games, like you're saying, your Call of Duties, your Fortnites, where you're running in after a group and going after to kill them. Tarkov takes so much strategy that it's actually the strategy's already going through your head, so all you're doing is saying it out loud. So yeah.
No, exactly, exactly. And when a chat comes in and you're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
or if a new person comes and watches your stream, they can see, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that there's nobody in his chat, but look at him, he's engaging with no audience.
Yep.
Incredible, incredible. If you've got that, you can do anything. You can do
Especially
anything.
especially a game like Tarkov that has such an incredibly hard difficulty in learning. Like some of the people that are browsing around in smaller streamers are literally looking for people that are kind of at their level. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy might just be kind of learning. And if you're in there explaining why you're doing certain things in a game that gives you no tutorial, gives you no feedback, does absolutely nothing, man, those people are going to stick around. That's definitely
Definitely.
something
Because
worth
those
doing.
people want to see your progress. They want to see your journey.
Yeah.
They know you're new, and they want to see how good you get. There's loads of Warzone streamers who have a massive community on Facebook. They're fucking terrible. Jinx is better than all of them, and they've got a massive community.
Yeah.
And you think, and this is what I said to Jinx. He said about I've given him advice. I've given him so much advice. I've helped Jinx a lot. And all Jinx needs to do is get seen. Once
Mhm.
he's seen, his career's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. He ain't gonna want to know me anymore. But lucky enough, me and him has got a contract. I get 50% of anything he earns. So
Perfect. All right. Well, at least we got him
Yeah.
locked in. That's good. JC Jean does have a question as well. She says, what would you say to a person who's on the fence about possibly streaming in the future? And what do you recommend they need to start out? And I think this is a good one because we have people of so many different varieties that currently, even within the organization, we've got some people streaming straight off of a face cam, off of a console. We've got people that are doing their best to run their stream off of their mobile phone. And then we have people who have full setups. We have such a wide variety. So I think that's a really good question as to what's a good recommendation just for starting out.
Just starting out, all you need is a Twitch account. You don't need nothing. As long as you've got a Twitch account and a console that can stream to Twitch, do it.
Yep.
If you've got that feeling that you want to do that, you don't have to have a webcam. You don't even have to have a mic. As long as you've got a headset with a mic and your console that can log you into Twitch, do it. If you feel nervous about being on cam to nobody or to people, get the confidence up by just having no cam.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when you hit the 250 follower mark, you're like, all right, face reveal. I'm JC Jean, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then your community's building. They know who you are now, and they're going to be there to support you. You never know if you like it if you don't try it, chat.
And one of the biggest obstacles is just hitting that go live button the very first time.
Oh, it's tough.
Oh,
it's
man.
tough hitting it.
Oh, it absolutely is because you just don't know what to expect your first time. And for anybody within the organization right now, I would say that the advantage is that the people who are going to show up to your stream are already your family. We're already here. You already know that you have the support structure in place. But yeah, for a lot of new streamers that don't yet have an organization, that haven't done a lot of networking, it's just a matter of hitting that button and going live. It's a mental block that you've got to start getting. And eventually, it'll just become a habit.
The problem with some new streamers,
and then you start forgetting to shut it off, and then you're streaming until 7 o'clock in the morning.
You got Smokey sitting there at 7 a.m. raiding people. Mike's asleep still.
I had more viewers whenever I was sleeping than I did whenever I was awake trying to play. So I don't see what's wrong with that.
No, but the problem with new streamers, right, is they see the success of the big streamers.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of streamers, they don't care about a community and stuff like that because they think that they're just going to have overnight success. They're going to hit that live button and Twitch and everything, and the algorithms are going to bring you 40,000 viewers.
Doesn't work like that. No.
These big streamers, like Nick Merckx, I'm sure he's been streaming about 8-9 years, maybe 10 years, maybe even longer.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't got his community overnight. He's
Yeah.
worked his fucking ass off,
Yep.
you know. And if you want something, you've got to work your ass off, chat. You can't just think, oh yeah, going live's enough. Going live isn't enough.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near enough. What else
Yep.
are you doing?
Yep.
Are you going around other streams? Are you networking? Are you getting your name out there? You know, content on other platforms is huge too. You know, and to
Mm-hmm.
find a balance, it's tough to find a balance, chat. To want
Mm-hmm.
to stream all the time, to want to post content everywhere and do series and all this stuff, it's hard. You need to
Mm-hmm.
find a balance. You need to find something you love and just go with it. Make it happen. Make it work.
Absolutely. Love it.
We've got a level 4 hype train, by the way.
I know. I was going to take a moment to address that we have a level 4 hype train going on over here. So let me just take a moment to read through. Freaky Punker, thank you so much for the bits, for the subs. We got a new follower, FOF B minus. Thank you so much for the follow. Huey, Margie, Goose Gaming, Throned Ace. Of course, Dougie D. Thank you all so much for the bits, the subs, the hype, the everything you're doing right now. Hillmaster, thank you for the follow. Duder, thanks for the follow. And of course, whenever we kick things off, I do appreciate Jinx bringing over your party and bringing those 11 wonderful individuals over into the chat. So. All of you. Jarzi finally followed. You know, we got to thank Man Bear Pig 36 just followed. Thank you so much, Man Bear Pig. Toro Mates just gifted subs. You guys are absolutely incredible. We absolutely love every single one of you. This stream is for you guys. You know what I mean? This is our way to chill out every once in a while. You know, like right now, we're streamers, but man, we ain't streaming shit. We're just sitting here having a conversation and talking to all of you. And it's absolutely amazing. Wicked Heart is giving out the gifted sub. A Wicked Heart continuing the gift sub. Thank you guys. You are all absolutely amazing. Thank you. Looks like a level 4 is now completed, and we are moving on to that level 5 right now. So dang. You guys are definitely, just you guys showing up here is enough. We all say this in every one of our streams, okay? We cannot emphasize the point to enough. Having everybody show up here was enough.
Is more, more than
enough
anything,
to make it's enough to make me excited to get off of here in a few minutes and start preparing for the next show. You know what I mean? That's, you know, just your presence, just you guys chatting and hanging out and having a good time. Thank you guys so much.
Mike, how many people did you think was going to make it today?
I think I hoped for maybe 15 to 20. That was my hopes. 15 to 20.
We had 42 the whole stream nearly.
Yeah, we've had above 40. The family's here, baby. The family is here.
Caterpillar, Freaky Punk. Oh my god.
Caterpillar. Yep. Well, we've exceeded the level 5. We are.
All right, that's game over. Let's go. Come on. We've got our money. Fuck off. No,
yeah. All right, everybody, save those pennies. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, all right.
Chat, before we go, or whatever you got planned, Mike, is there any other questions you'd like to know, or about me, or maybe even the host yourself?
Yeah, well, I'd be more than happy to answer. So we'll take one more question, and then I've got one final thing for Smokey J. I know. Look at those eyebrows. Still want to know about the woodchuck. Miss Dirty Bike is trolling with the how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
A lot.
Just I said 2 pounds a couple weeks ago. Just 2 pounds. Just throw a number out there. Did you almost kick Smokey out when he shaved his beard off? Who could kick him out though, JB? All we could do is quit. Hashtag not my Smokey. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So Mr. FN SirNudges ask Dirty Mike, why are you called Dirty? So my old username used to be Neozal, which was really difficult to say and terrible.
I know Neozal.
Do you? So one day I was playing. I used to be a very big player for Destiny and Destiny 2. Used to be in a lot of raid groups and that kind of stuff. And we just had a generic clan name, nothing special. And we were running the King's Fall raid, which took us about 6 or 7 hours to do. And finally got through the raid. Now, there's a movie called The Other Guys starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, in which a group of homeless men called Dirty Mike and the Boys have sex in the back of Will Ferrell's Prius, okay? And then they leave a note that says, thanks for the fuck shack, right? So, at the end of this raid, we defeat the guy, and randomly one of the members of my raid group just goes, "Thanks for the fuck shack." And nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows why he said it. But from then on, they've renamed the clan to Dirty Mike and the Boys, and I became Dirty Mike of Dirty Mike and the Boys, and it has stuck ever since. I have been Dirty Mike. So
Love it.
so sorry. There's a little bit of a vulgar story behind my name. What can you say? I mean, they want to know. I got to answer. So, all right. So any more questions? King's Fall 6 hour? Yeah, it was when it first came out. It was like brand new. We were not of level. Come on, shut up. Fucking Deadshot. There's Deadshot again. We just talked shit about you not too long ago, Deadshot, and here you are.
I'm listening to him.
I know. Man, Bearpig was actually a member of Dirty Mike and the Boys back in the day. So the one last thing that I want to address, Smokey, before I kick you out of here and wrap things up, is do you have anything that you would like to say to the community? I know we've been saying a lot of things to the community, but do you have a little message that you'd like to sign off with here at the end of this interview?
I want to just thank you all for your love and support from day one of Finest Nation. You know, everyone says, you know, they call me boss and all this stuff, and you know, think that we're like unstoppable, but we're not. Like we are working our asses off, working our ass off to make everything work for you guys, and we couldn't do that without you. You know, you lot make the org, not us. You know, you lot make our jobs easy. You know, and we can't thank you enough for wanting to be a part of our family, our journey. And you know, if you stick around, we're gonna go far. I can promise you that. You know, I'm gonna make sure of it, because this is something that I see. I'm gonna leave my kids, and your kids are gonna be involved, and it's gonna be all the FN juniors involved and taking over the show, while we're sitting in fucking Marbella somewhere on a balcony having a smoke.
Sipping
You know,
Mai
like,
Tais.
you know what I'm saying? But without you guys, we couldn't do this. And you know, like what you said, Mike, we're only what 4 months old, and we've earned $2,000 for a charity already.
Right.
And if we can do that in 4 months, what are we gonna do in 4 years' time?
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible. Like I can't explain how incredibly proud I am of what this is and what we're achieving and the family that we've got. I'm proud of every single one of you. You know, some of you do me head in, like Deadshot. But you know, without you guys, we couldn't do it. And you know, I want to thank you all for everything, for all your hard work, all your dedication, all your support. Because yeah, we couldn't do it without you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you all for being here today. And yeah, I'm sure we've got a message from someone else for you as well.
We do. Whatever. We're gonna be head back over to the showroom here, and we're gonna go through some of the streamers of the month that we've had, and then we'll have a final message from another one of our managers whenever we sign off the show. But Smokey, we talked for almost an hour of our 30-minute time limit. So, hey man, you can't cut a good thing short. I do appreciate you, man.
I'll see you for part 2 next year.
See you for part 2, baby. Thank you so much, bud.
Take
And
care,
we'll see you here in just here in about 45 minutes for Organite, baby.
see you soon.
All right.
Chat, be ready, because you're all sus as fuck. I'm coming for you.
You're all sus. You heard it right there. All right. There we are. We're back. There goes our interview with Mr. Smokey J. So I hope you all enjoyed the chance that we had to sit down and talk with him. I hope everybody managed to get their questions in and had a good time. So going to the end here, this was meant to be a 1-hour show, but we are definitely carrying over just a little bit, because what I wanted to do was just do a brief moment to acknowledge some of the streamers of the month that we've had since the beginning of our organization. First up here, we have a kid named D. Kid named D is a fantastic streamer. He is a very good variety streamer, plays a lot of different things that you'll see up here in his clip. He's also one of the people who stepped up and has taken a role in helping out with editing the clips, getting them distributed onto the various multiple platforms, And whenever we are hounding you guys to get the clips in there, and that we need the clips, it's all about trying to spread your content as well as promote the organization. We just talked a lot about making sure that we all help each other progress. So, Kid Named D has been such a huge help in getting the clips all edited and pushed out onto other platforms, and we greatly appreciate his effort in that. The next individual we have up is none other than Mr. Stalin Rugg, recently promoted general manager for FN Gaming. This is your go-to guy right here. All of your wants and needs, anything you want to say, any concern you have, this is the man that you go to. One of the most hospitable guys that I've ever met. Reaches out, just a heart of gold. Always wants to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Everybody has everything they need. Stalin Rug 420, thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate you. And then we go on to one and only Mr. Fog Owl. Huge Dead by Daylight player. One of the most amazing guys that I've met on this journey. Has been so supportive of myself. Really tight with his community. He has the goals in mind just like all of us do. And that's to build the absolute best community that he possibly can. It looks like my clips are glitching out, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, Fogger's definitely amazing streamer. He is making a very hard push for partner on Hover this year. He was one of the individuals that really got me turned on to it and the growth that it could provide for your streams. So yeah, get over there and check out Mr. Fog Owl whenever you get a chance. Moving on down the list, birthday boy himself, Mr. Huey. Again, a lot of the games that I've seen Huey play, a lot of shooter games, Apex, Rogue Company, Call of Duty. Real quick on the controls, and one of the things that I have to say about Huey, aka socks, for anybody who didn't know, this man has such an amazing collection of socks that he wears throughout the streams. You'll have to ask him to see the collection sometime. I never thought I'd be interested in watching anybody stream Tetris, but if you want to see somebody who is extremely quick at playing Tetris, it's an absolute amazing watch. You just have to see the movement and able to see how quick he's able to think on his feet. Here we got a little clip of that. He's just and he makes it so entertaining. His personality is just there and makes it a fun watch. Next up, got Schwang Wallaby. Another one of the individuals that has stepped up and offered to help whenever need be for editing of clips and getting them distributed. And always there. You always see him in the community nights. You always see him hanging out, playing games with everybody. Just a pleasure to be around. Recently, new father. So, he's definitely just like the rest of us. He's balancing his family life. He's balancing his streaming life and work life and trying to make it all work. And he's an absolute pleasure to be around, pleasure to watch, super supportive guy. And next up, we're getting into the individuals who placed first each respective month for November, December, and January. First one we already talked about him a little bit tonight, Gamer to Gamer. All right, this guy, heart of gold. We have been experiencing his journey of life here recently. Gamer's one of those types of guys that can be delivered bad news, and by that afternoon, he's turned it around into a good thing, and bringing other people in to, support, help out with, and like I said, he's such an amazing individual. He's such a pleasure to be around. He's been there for so much streaming advice for me. Really taught me how to stop stressing about certain things, focus on other things, have a good time, and make this an enjoyable experience instead of something to stress out about. Now the next one, a little bit of prep work involved here. You can't, if you're going to do this one, you've got to do it right, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Kiddo Christo, the Viper King himself. He was one of our top streamers of the month. This dude is just so amazing. He is everywhere. You can't go into a chat on Twitch without seeing the Kiddo Christo being there showing support. AKA the Viper King, baby. All right? He's playing with people. He's supporting in chat. He's hyping everybody up. He's making everybody laugh. It's just such a good person to have in your streams. And, there's just so many nice things to say about Crystal that I don't even know where to start. And everybody, make sure that you reach out to Kiddo Christo right now. Show him some love and support. Be there for him. And that brings me to our last, but definitely not least, streamer of the month, Mr. Shen World. Shen joined FN straight away as the Facebook manager. And we're talking a page that was absolutely dead. And he walked in and he just inserted life into it and started promoting and started getting our name out there on a completely new platform. You know, it's one thing for somebody to come in somewhere, you know, like Twitter, where we already have a little bit of an established role, and start, you know, just continue gaining the followers. He had to come in and take something and start it straight from scratch. And I mean, within a week already just had it rolling. So everybody, all of the streamers of the month, thank you so much for all of your contributions. Thank you for everything you've done in making FN what it is today. Everybody that's watching right now, keep in mind, all of your names are in for stream of the month, okay? We're all watching. We're all popping in your streams. We're all seeing how you're doing. We're all seeing how much you support one another, how much you support the brand, how much you are just making amazing content for yourself. So just keep up the good work is all that we would ever ask of you. You know, we are family here. It's not about who's the best at a game. It's not about, you know, who's pulling in the most viewers. It's all about the support. It's all about the community. It's all about being there for one another and just making the organization and yourself grow. And on that note, I want to announce that in 2 weeks' time, well, let's start with this. In 1 week, we will be premiering the edited video of the show here over on YouTube. We'll get the announcement out here soon. We'll make sure that everybody's aware when that's going to happen, and we might just pop into the Vibes channel on Discord and try to do a little bit of a YouTube. Oh shoot, I got 3 more things to do. Okay, everybody's yelling at me. So the premiere for this episode will be on YouTube in 1 week, and then a week after that, so 2 weeks from now, we will be doing the next episode of Down and Dirty with our guest, Mr. Stalin Rugg. None other than the general manager himself. As we wrap things up here, like I said, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be having the next show. It's going to be with Mr. Stalin Rugg. Make sure over on Discord that you go over to the Down and Dirty section. We have the suggested topics underneath there in one of the text chats. I'm always watching that. Make sure to go in there and put your topics that you want to see covered on that show. It could be for the interview. It could be for additional things outside the interview. If you'd like to do any kind of tech reviews, game reviews, I can do little shorts. Just let me know what you want to see and we'll make it happen on here. And I appreciate everybody showing up. This has been an amazing experience. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time, something of this format. It's amazing to see it come to life today and be as successful as it has been, and that's all because of you guys. Thank you all so much. We will see you on the next show. We will be over on the community night here in about 34 minutes playing Among Us. We will be streaming it. So make sure you show up for that as well. Enjoy the fun times that we're about to have. And to exit for the night, I have Mr. Nudges with a message for everybody.
Hey everyone, SirNudges here, and Albert. And I just want to say thank you, Dirty Mike, for what was an absolutely amazing show. And an absolutely amazing interview with the one and only Smokey J Show. Finance Nation Gaming was started last year, which was just an idea that me and Smokey had, and we managed to bring it to light, and we could never have imagined where we'd be at this stage right now, so early into this family's organisation. We've now got 42 members of avid streamers, content creators, moderators, writers, you name it, they're there, and they're all part of this amazing family. And application forms are still open, so make sure that you get your application in, because you could become part of something amazing too. Last year, for instance, we raised £1,600 for Great Ormond Street Hospital in our very first charity event. It was a charity stream show where streamers were raided hour after hour, and every single person that was involved in that day worked their socks off to achieve what we did. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone that's been involved with Finance Nation Gaming so far and got us to this point. And without you, it couldn't have been possible. It just couldn't have been done. So that was the Dirty Mike show. I hope you enjoyed it. I bloody did. Next up, we've got the org night of Among Us. So if you're watching, sit back, kick back, relax, enjoy. If you're taking part, trust no one. See ya.